Hello, Education 380 and Education 500. This is Dr. Allen. Just to kind of give you a heads up, we have two sections of this class. We have an undergraduate section, 380, and we have a graduate section, Education 500. I'll talk about the differences at the very end for the 500 students on this video. But before I even get going, again, I'm Dr. Allen. Forgive the little bit of an informal appearance. I thought I'd better get a video out, an intro video, and I have my hat on. I just decided to keep it on since it's summer. I'm in my office. This is going to be a very, very, very informal video, but I wanted to get something out before our class started and kind of highlight a few things. The class itself, I think, lends itself to being pretty easily done online. We are an asynchronous course, meaning that you do it on your own. We're not actually having a formal meeting. With that being said, there are videos already posted. I'll talk about those. And of course, I will always be available. Before I dive into the class two, I just want to make one thing known. Of course, we start on July 6th. You'll be getting this video. Hopefully today is July 1st. I'm going to hopefully get it out to you today or at the very latest tomorrow morning, July 2nd. And I'm going to try to open the classes, and I'll talk about that here in a second for this weekend, if you're interested in starting a little early. Also, the week of July 11th, I will actually be in Florida. I'll be at the House of the Mouse at Disney World with my family, but fear not, I have internet access. I'm actually taking the train down, so I have a lot of internet time going back and forth. And also, I promise, I have a 24-hour window for email policy where if you send it to me, I'll respond back in 24 hours, or at least I should, or you should email me if I don't. I usually get back in a few hours. That's still going to hold even when I'm at Disney World because I'll be in and out of our resort. And I'll probably, just as a break from Disney World, be checking email both in the morning and the evening, definitely. And if we're back in the hotel, I'll definitely check it in the middle of the day. What I'm saying is I will still be easily available that week, but just in case, I thought I'd better go ahead and throw that out there, just in case I'm not as quick as I am during the first week. That's a lot of babbling. Let's talk about the course. All right, our course. The main reason I wanted to get this video out, and let me say this, and I think I put it in the email I already sent you all. I am going to have a ton of patience with everyone making this change because I'm probably going to need a ton of patience required on my end as far as working with this. You may or may not know that Shepherd is moving towards something called Brightspace. Brightspace is replacing Sakai. We've been selected as a pilot class for the summer, which is kind of good. I kind of wanted to get familiar with it, and it's probably good for you all because a lot of your professors are going to be making the change. I will tell you in the fall, some classes might use Brightspace, some might use Sakai. That's our, I guess, transition semester. And then next January, everyone will be on Brightspace. With that being said, I will be very, very patient with anyone that's having problems with Brightspace because, again, I might have problems with Brightspace. I've done a few classes. I think I can get us through it. Building it hasn't been too bad, and I did talk to a professor who used it during the first summer session, and they said it was actually, the students liked it once they got used to it. So that's very encouraging. I will show you some resources here in a second that you can go to. I am going to go over the login materials and such for you also with Brightspace. As a matter of fact, let me just go ahead and pull that up. And of course, if I was really professional, I would have already had this up. Let me see, students. I think I had it here. Was that no. Login. Sorry, student login. Brightspace. I'm going to be sending all this out, so it's not a major thing. But yeah, there's some student resources. Sorry, I had to find the link. I will be emailing all this to you separately. But there is a student Brightspace page that kind of goes over how you can get into it. I'm going to be sending you the link after this video is sent. Actually, it'll be sent with this video. You can mess around with it. If you have any problems, please email me. We'll figure it out. I'm going to show you around the course and everything and what it looks like from a student's point of view. But This is Brightspace, and it goes over everything. I will send this link to you, but that is the Brightspace page for students, and you see, you just click right there, and there is a whole bunch of stuff about getting started, where to log in, the apps that you can do. My understanding is that the app is actually not that bad, and such, and getting your Brightspace set up. So anyway, there is that. Let me go back to Brightspace on Shepherd. Now, I don't want to make this about Brightspace because, again, I'm going to be sending information separate on that. Let's actually talk about the course itself. This is what our Brightspace spot is going to look like. And I'm going to just pull up 380 for those of you that are in Education 500. If you're not, it's the same class except for one major difference at the end, and I'll talk about that at the very end of the video. All right, so we are in Ed 500, and just so you know, whoops, there's our class, but why don't we go back to Content Home. If you look here, you'll click Content. Everything for our class is set up here. Now, here is something I don't usually do during a normal semester, and I'll just go ahead and say this now so I don't forget. We have basically 4 weeks to do this class. I've tried to streamline it a little bit because I think it's a lot of material to go through, excuse me, water, in a very short amount of time. The other thing I just decided to do, and I only usually do this in the summer, I'll have everything open. So if you want to work ahead, you have permission to work ahead. If you notice, our last day is actually August the 2nd. That's a Monday. I'm also going to say this, that last week is when a few of our bigger assignments are due. If you really, really, really need a day or two, that is fine. Just email me ahead of time. I think we can get away with going to August the 4th. But I put the 2nd on there just as a motivator. If you can get everything done by the 2nd, it helps, one, probably your stress level because everything's done. Two, it helps me get things graded and get your grades in on time. But that's why I made that weird face. It's always sometimes a little tricky getting that in. So, I mean, I would be flexible until August the 4th. Now, with that said, our syllabus. When you go in here on overview, there is our syllabus, and it is right there. It is already posted. I'm going to move my face up out of the way. Again, we're online. This class meets online. We have no scheduled times to meet. But again, if we need to meet one-on-one, that is fine. It's basically I guess this summer, it's kind of self-paced in a lot of ways. I do have those checkpoints, like whatever's due week 1, I would expect to be done week 1. But I mean, if you want to work ahead, that's fine. You can work ahead, not behind, if that makes sense. I'm not going to go over to class honor code and things like that. You are welcome to check that out. I will say one thing. The purpose of this course really is to get you used to using various types of technology in the classroom, which after this past pandemic year is kind of important. We can look over it's all nice stuff. There are our readings on the discussion board are all here. And that's the breakdown. I'm trying to get to the stuff I know you're all mostly interested in. Assignments and evaluation. If you look, we got a few things, and actually this is worded a little weird. I probably should update this a little bit. We have an assignment. It's called a lesson plan brainstorming. I'll show it to you here in a second, actually. But basically what you have to do is you kind of have to map out a lesson plan. I'm not asking for a formal set of plans. The main reason I'm doing that is everyone with this class, sometime we've kind of opened it up where you can take it a little earlier, and everyone's lesson planning experience is a little different. So really, I want you to brainstorm a lesson plan, and I'll show you the template here in a minute. I already have a template made up, and basically you just need to answer the prompts. You have to come up with 3 lessons integrating various types of tech that you've done in this class. So I'll throw out some that obviously I think most people are familiar with now. Like if you're using a Kahoot, you got to brainstorm how you would integrate the Kahoot. I would ask that each lesson has a different type of tech. And again, it'll make sense once I show you the template. Also, you need to be familiar with your state standards. It's whatever state you're planning on teaching in, and you need to align it and all. Again, I'll show you that on the template. We do have discussion boards. They are linked, and I'll show you in week 1 how you get there. Um, the classroom resources, this is pretty straightforward. We're going to look at different texts, and you're going to have to create small things and share with me as far as how you're going to use it. Well, I'm sorry, you're just going to create things and show that you can use the tech. So, for example, if you look here, you're going to create a website. Wow, that's awesome. It's not that hard. You're going to create a Google Classroom, again, because it's pretty standard stuff. They're not real in-depth creations. And that's not because I don't think it's important that you don't get in depth. Right now, I'm just trying to introduce it to you to get you familiar with it, know that it's out there. You are welcome to expand these things as little or as big as you want. There are set guidelines for each assignment that I want you to do, but as long as you meet the minimum requirements, you're fine with, you know, the tech itself. Um, Ed Puzzle is another one, but these are all different types. Flipgrid, a lot of people are familiar with Flipgrid. And there is a blog. I've streamlined that a little bit for this class also in the summer because I thought it was too much. Last year I did 10. This year you have 5. Each week you have to, and I think one week there's 2. You have to pick, um, each week you have to pick one of the texts that you've looked at and just write a brief review. And when I mean brief, I'm talking like 2 to 3 sentences. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. That's kind of it. Oh, one big one. I forgot one more big one. Technology certification for this class. And you can go ahead and do this whenever you want. And sometimes this stresses people out, but it's not meant to stress people out because I think there's a pretty easy workaround with this. It's when you get done this class, I like everyone to have a certification either as an Apple educator or a Google educator, Google level 1, not the whole way through. I will tell you right now, Apple is free. Google is not. Google costs 10 bucks. And some people wait until the very end because it's not due until that last week. Some people do it very early. I don't care which one you do. The only thing I will tell you is Google and even Apple, but really Google. If you do the Google, I don't need you to verify that you passed it. I just need verification that you took the test. Sometimes they're a little slow on grading. Would it be awesome if everyone got certified in this? Yes, and pretty much everyone always does. I don't think there's never not been anyone that hasn't. But you're welcome to just, as long as you have verification that you have attempted the certification, that's fine. And I don't want you, especially with Google, to try more than once unless you want to. I just want you to try to get the certification. I guess it's more of an effort thing than an actual verification of the certification. Once you get the certificate or the certification, you can just submit the form, or you can send me the email that you have actually applied for it or took the test. And that's it. And again, I'll show you that. But that's pretty much the 5 things. So the 5 things are lesson plan brainstorming, discussion board, the resources. There's a tech. There'll be about 3 or 4 techs a week you have to do. You have to blog, certification. That's it. That's what you have to do each week. And as you can see, it's all down there with the points. You got about 500 points you're working with and the breakdown. And there's some of it. There's one where we do fun tech. I will say this, though. It's still, for a summer class, I realize summer classes are awesome because you get a lot done in a short amount of time. They also stink because you're doing a lot in a short amount of time. So, but we'll get through all of it. And again, I'm pretty flexible, especially with this transition to Brightspace. So let's just look at week 1, just to kind of give you an idea. When you come into the class, you will see this. That's this. And the very first thing we're going to do is Google Arts and Culture. That is something you're going to have to require. You're going to have to load an app up. There is an instructional video. I'll show it to you in a second. And you're going to do an art selfie. I will show you mine. And of course, I was probably a dope because I don't think I pulled this up before I came into this class. Oh, but I do have it. That's from the fall, but it'll work. You'll take a picture and it'll compare you to a work of art. And it's just to kind of get you used to the site. There's a lot of things on the site that are pretty neat. Let me see if I can get that out of there. But I think I had a better one I took a couple weeks ago, but that's okay. If you look here, you will do that. And that's the first discussion. So you're just going to do an art selfie. You're going to post your art selfie to the discussion board and just talk about if you would use Google Arts and Culture, which is, there's an article on it. There's a link right there on Google Arts and Culture. Let me actually go to student view so I can look at it from how you will. Oops. Got to switch it around a little bit. Whoops. Jump back in there. There we go. And if you see, that's the magazine article you can read on Google Arts and Culture. But everything is listed. And the one nice thing I will say this is when you click on it, I believe it gives you, it should give you click right there. Whoops, hold on. Let me switch back here. It should give you all that. I'm viewing it as a learn, so it won't let me click it. I have to switch back, sorry. Get out of that. Sorry, this is me also learning a little bit about Google Class or Brightspace. I'm mumbling and talking to myself. I want to go back as I'm just viewing it as a learn. I don't have the ability to click it. You should be able to click on it and it'll pull up. I did a video, and that's another thing I need to make sure you all understand. I did a video. Please, because of the switch to Brightspace, I didn't up. The videos are from the spring. If I mention any dates or assignments, don't freak out. They're basically whatever is listed on Brightspace is what you need to worry about. The videos are just kind of instructional. I try to keep them vague and just talk about the technology, but I am sure, I have no doubts that I said this is due before spring break or this is due in March something. Don't just wipe any of that in your mind in case I didn't catch it or you see it. Some people use the videos, some people do not. Actually, you can tell I record this in January because I'm in a fleece. So you can do all that. And then again, you can just some people like the videos, some people don't. If you're comfortable just going in and checking out the link, getting familiar with the tech, that is also fine. I also post videos on the tech itself. My videos were just kind of overviews of the tech, but the videos themselves are right here. Like you can view something on Google Culture. Honestly, that's probably going to be more beneficial to you than what I'm probably saying, if I'm being painfully obvious, because it just focuses on the tech. There's everything you need. And as you see, as you go through, there's checklists and things like that that tell you. But this is everything that's due for week 1. Google Arts and Culture. There's just links to Google Arts and Culture. That's my video. That's the video on the tech. You'll complete the discussion board. You should be able to just click it. There's video on website information. You do need to create a website this first week. The websites will be either Wix, Weebly, or Google Sites. I do not care which one. You're going to go to the link. I will tell you this right now. Sometimes I like Weebly. I've created Weebly. I just did a Weebly. It takes about 15-20 minutes to get used to working it. Wix is the same way. Some people just like Google, and that's fine. If you like to use, I think some people use WordPress, that's fine. I don't care what type of website you make or what, I guess, software or website that you use to make the website. I just want you to make a website and meet the requirements. So if there's something you're more comfortable with than Wix, Weebly, or Google Sites, that's fine. Like I say, WordPress is also another one that I would definitely take. The outline, there will always be a breakdown of the assignments. Let me get out of this. And of course, there should be a PDF there. Well, there is not. Let me go back up here to assignments. I might have to check that out, why it's doing that. Might have caught myself not having something posted that I thought I did. There is no website posted. Let me show you what's going on. I can cheat a little bit. Forgive me. This is what I was saying, one take. And I'll post, this will be up before I open the class. Oh, by the way, if there's no directions, I think I got everything moved over, but if like what I'm just doing now, if it is not there, just email me, I'll fix it. And I will definitely give you more time if I don't have it posted. There it is. All right, I'll make sure this is up. But there's a tutorial and this will be posted up. Actually, why don't I just do this? I'll just cut and paste it right now. So it is posted on there. But if you look, there's a tutorial how to use. I did Weebly, like I say, that's what I'm used to. Then you do the following. Create a brief website using the software that you choose. I want you to create a title page. I'll post my example that I did for my classes on there. A subpage, which is one, like I did one on world history, and a tutorial on, there's a tutorial on there, but that's it. I just want a title page, a link to a subpage, and something on that subpage, just to show that you can use it. Let me go back and post this on there. Apologies, but I want to make sure your directions are posted. Shame on me. What? You're getting to watch a lot of painful Weebly, a lot of painful bright space education going on right before your eyes. This is like being in a live class. Oh, there it is. I was going to say, I thought I had posted it. But I'm just going to go ahead and put it on there too. So it's on both. And you'll have it. And also, I will show you my Weebly page just to kind of show you what I'm looking for. This was, I have to admit, it's a little dated now. It's probably 3 or 4 years old. But I just want a title page. Like mine was Dr. Allen's Social Studies class, which, by the way, just to give background, I taught social studies for about 15 plus years. And then I had a Weebly for each one of my classes. I will be the first to admit, websites are kind of going the way of the dinosaur because so many schools now are using like Schoology or Google Classroom, which kind of fill the roles of a website. I still liked having one only for one basic reason. When I left the school, if I had a Google account with that school, they had all my stuff and I couldn't log back in because it's a school account. This was mine, so I just always liked having it. But as you see, this is the title page. I just want you to have something nice. You can put your name or, whatever. 7th grade social studies. I was world, as you can look, I titled it. That's what I'm talking about with a subpage. You just need one. And then put something on it. As you can see, this was stuff I posted. I'm not expecting all that. That's no. But 8th grade, that's a subpage. You just need one of those and just something. You put a YouTube video up on it, that's fine. So probably once you figure it out, it'll take you a few minutes. But that's the website. The discussion, like I say, was, whoops. The discussion was the Google Classroom. I'm sorry, Google Arts and Culture. And then I believe there's the assignment. You're going to make a Google Classroom also the first week. Some of you have probably already done that. Let me say this. If you are already teaching somewhere and you're using Google Classroom and you just want to submit what you have for Google Classroom, that is fine. I have no problems with that whatsoever. There is the Google Classroom assignment, but let me show you what we're going to do. A lot of people are moving towards this. It is pretty easy to use, but there is a video posted on Google Classroom. I have posted a directional one on there. Make sure you read it. Sorry, I lost train of thought. Once you've created your Google Classroom, you're going to post a few things on there. You're going to post an announcement. You're going to embed a YouTube video, and I want you to create a hyperdoc. A hyperdoc is quite simply one of your words, if you're using Google Docs or Google Sheets or, it escapes me off the top of my head, Google Presentations, I think it's what it's called. Let me just go to my Google account. Now, I will say this, you might have to create a Google account if you don't already. I think 99% of the population has one. If you have not created one, that is okay. It's very easy, but once you do that, you should be able to go right into Google Classroom, and your Google Classroom will look like this. So you can see these are some prior ones that I have. I may actually, if they don't mind, I may actually use one to just show you. But what they did is they created a Google Classroom. They named it. They put an announcement right there. It was there. And then they put a hyperdoc. They embedded a Google Sheets, I'm sorry, Google Docs in there. And just in case you don't know what a hyperdoc is, I'm saying that term. A hyperdoc is quite simply, it's just a document that you can change and alter at a time. For example, I used to use them as brainstormings for students. Let me go back to Google, I'm sorry. I used to use them as brainstormings where if I put them in groups, they all could go on the same sheet and type at the same time. You've probably seen them in different schools. It's a hyperdoc. It's always active. It saves automatically. At Shepherd, we have OneDrive. That's a hyperdoc. Like yesterday, I was working with a colleague and we were typing on on the same document at the same time, and it was saving it. You need to embed one of those, but let me go back in. If you want, I'm sorry, I should have pulled this up. And I don't know why I X'd out. That was kind of dumb. I'll show you another one. As you can see, some people did different things. They have their essay posted. That's it. Please sign up for presentations. I just want something, again, like with the website, to show that you can use Google Classroom. It is here. I will say this. It is fantastic. Like I say, if you want to put a video on there, I would like to see a hyperdoc. I used to make everyone post a Quizlet. A Quizlet is another form. It's not a hyperdoc and it's not required, but it is something nice that, students like to do things. You don't have to go and make that. But if you want to, you can add it. You can make it as big as you want. And as it says there, the hyperdoc can be a sign-up sheet, editing sheet. I'm not worried about the doc itself being anything fancy. I just want you to know that you put it on there and you know how to embed things. There is a Google Classroom instructional video on there. I think I updated them all. If I happen to have one that's a little older, because things were changing so fast when I started, even when I was building this class. Of course, YouTube always has things that you can find, and you're welcome to go out if you find a better video. The main thing you have to do, though, is after you've created your website and after you've created your Google Classroom, you need to send me an invite. You can submit that on the assignment and it should come to me. Or if you're really, really uncomfortable or not sure, you can send it to me at an email. I'll get it. I have a folder specifically for you all and I'll go through it. And with Brightspace, I'm sure I'll probably get some emails. And that's all good. Let me go back. I think that is actually our big thing this week. Yep, that's our work for this week. I'll post this video. Actually, you know what? I'll probably should just do this. I'll make sure I do it. That's an older video. I will put this welcome video up so you have something each week that you know what we're doing. This is kind of our class, I guess, so to speak. Me mumbling and bumbling through a whole thing. But the 3 things you have to do for the first week, well, tech-wise, check out Google Arts and Culture. That's your discussion. Post your photo of your Google Arts and Culture up. You will have to download the app probably on your phone. I don't have my phone with me, but, oh, well, you know what? You'll just download the app, take a picture, it'll match you up. And I really should, let me show you the video. If you look, and if you have problems with doing the selfie, don't sweat it too much, but of course it's blocking it, of course. Let me see something here real quick. Refresh it real quick. There we go. Pressure of filming. This is like a real live class. I'm determined not to stop. But there you go. Tells you a little bit about what it does. You can obviously watch this. I will also send out directions again on this, just in case when I send out our info on Tuesday, if you're not. But again, take a Google Arts and Culture picture. And let's see, let me go back here. Just going back through everything just to make sure I don't forget. Got to do Google Arts and Culture, download the app, take a selfie, and then after checking out the app, just give us a bio. You know, what's your content area? Mine's social studies. What's your interest? I like to golf. Actually, this is going to sound very nerdy, but if you look back there, my son and I have been trying to recreate an old Christmas photo where I had these old Transformers from about 30 years ago. Pandemic was something to do. You know, that's stuff that I do. Take your selfie, post it. And also, you might want to say something about why you want to be a teacher or anything like that. But it's just an intro. First discussion is an art selfie and an intro. I'll make sure mine is posted so you can see it and kind of get an idea. There's the videos on the website if you want them. You can, like I say, I think I have all of them. That's the one that I talked about that I did. You can watch it. It's not required if you think you're fine without it. But if you go on here, there's some other ones. There's the assignment. You can watch the tutorial. Pick something, make a website, title page, subpage, put something on the subpage, send me the link, submit the link here on Brightspace. There is a video on HyperDocs if you need it. There's some more videos on HyperDocs. Like I say, that's usually your Google Docs is a good example, sheets, anything like that, presentations. You can alter those at the same time. So Google Classroom, again, the instructions are there, they're posted, but I want you to create a Google Classroom. Will require a Google login. And then just make sure you have a HyperDoc posted and an announcement posted. I like when people put a video up, if they would, like embed a YouTube video. It just shows you can use it. But that's it. I just want to see if you can use the technology and can figure it out. A lot of educational technology is just kind of getting used to it. After you've done that, pick one of those techs, Google Arts and Culture, Google Classroom, or the website, and write a blog. You can just click there and write it. And when I mean a blog, just review one of the texts in 2 to 3 sentences. I hated Weebly because I couldn't figure it out for the first hour. I will never use it again. Bam. I loved Weebly. It was so cool. I've never made a website and I feel great about it. And now I'm ready to take on the world and incorporate this in my classroom. That's fine. Just a quick blog, just to kind of give it. And you only need to pick one of them, not every one of them or anything like that. That is week 1. I think this has ended up being longer than I thought. I do have the syllabus posted, and again, everything's up. I will send out directions on logging into Brightspace, and please, 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 please email me if you are having any problems with Brightspace. Maybe I don't have something opened. Maybe I have something clicked that shouldn't be clicked. That is very possible. This, again, is going to be trial and error, but hopefully we'll kind of learn together. And again, I will be patient. The first day that I open it on Tuesday the 6th, I will make sure that I am keeping an eye out on email and such. But with all that being said, I'm going to stop the share. That is it. Everything is posted. Welcome to the class. I hope we get through it. And again, you know, one other thing I wanted to say, sorry. I am, other than the week that I'm in Florida, I'm down on campus a good bit. Even if you want to swing by my office, that is fine. I've been there all June, it seems like. So if you need to come in, talk, communicate about anything, that's awesome. We can definitely do that, and I could show you what the tech is. Quite honestly, even if anyone wants to set up a meeting, like a regular one, that's probably not going to be a problem. So with all that being said, welcome to the class. If you are in Education 380, you can go ahead and stop this painful video. If you are in Education 500, I do need you for one more minute, so if you could hang in there. If you are in the graduate section, your requirements are exactly the same as with 380, except you have a research requirement. It is posted under the week that ends on the 25th. You can check it out. It is also under assignments, but you have to do a 5 to 8 page research paper on a tech of your choice, any tech issue. You can do something on the pandemic and technology. Was it good, bad? You can do a specific tech, like I want to do a paper on Nearpod and write that. I want to do something on Google Classroom. I want to talk about 21st century skills, which is something we're going to talk about, and the delivery methods. You can do that. I'm pretty open to it as long as it's somehow connected to technology or what are called 21st century skills, which we're going to talk about in the week 2. The main thing you need to worry about with the paper needs to be an APA format. If you're not familiar with that, I put a link up to it on the Purdue OWL. But as graduate students, you are required to do a research type paper. So APA, I would get familiar with APA. I know this is a lot of times everyone's first class with AP or graduate class. So I'm not as sometimes tough on the APA as probably I should be, but I'm not, because I know it's a quirky thing, especially if you're coming from MLA. But I would definitely get used to using it, because as you progress farther, some professors are a little more, this is not a knock, by the way, just some, as you get farther along in the graduate program, are a little more, they want the APA to be a little more tight, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Also, oh, I forgot one other thing, but that's all right, I'll jump back. Also, lost my train of thought. It has to be APA and the sources. I like upwards of 8 to 10 sources. And when I'm saying sources, I mean something along the lines of, it doesn't have to be the most in-depth thing. Like, I'm not asking, it can be a small article, be something you incorporated in the paper, just something to build on your knowledge on the topic that you select, but nothing more, nothing less. And with that being said, I forgot something, and I'll have to tell the 380 people, I'll email them. I meant to show you the lesson plan thing. It hit me when I was talking to you all. Let me go back here real quick. I think I have it on the last one. I do. There it is. All righty. If you're doing the lesson plan, this is what I'm talking about with this. You can download this document. It is posted as a Word document, or you can just create your own with the things that are listed. I think it should let you download it anyway. I'll probably email it. It's backup for my sanity. Basically, what I want you to do is think of 3 lessons. There is a 4th one if you really want to be a go-getter, but I'm fine with 3. You need to do the standards and learning objectives for this lesson. And what I mean by that, for example, I did social studies. I was a social studies teacher. There are state standards for social studies. West Virginia State Social Studies Standards. And they're here. See if it opens for me. Probably not. Nope, it didn't. Let's see. There we go. That one. I'll just do that one. And they're here. And I didn't do the younger generation, but let's see. There you go. There's 8th. That'd be something I would have done. That might be my standard for the lesson. Demonstrate development in the early 20th, West Virginia's development in the early 20th century. That's all I'm looking for. It's all I'm looking for. Then, let's get that out of there. Then, how am I going to teach that? Like, I might do stand and deliver. I might do stations. I might do an exit tickets. That's all fine. Just state how you're planning on getting the activities out. Think about it. How would you teach it? Are you going to do small groups? Are you going to do inquiry-based instruction? These are all things that just think about it, brainstorm. You can list them. I'm not trying to be, reinvent the wheel here. And if you haven't taught yet, don't worry. You can Google search some ideas. This is just to get you thinking about it. Then I want you to think about one of the technologies you've done in this class and how you would incorporate it. You can just do that in a few sentences. 21st century skills we'll talk about. You can Google them, but we're going to do those with the second week. They're actually the discussion board topic. And how are you going to assess this lesson? That's one. The next one, you're going to do the exact same thing. And the third one, that's it. That's all I want. And there, like I say, this is posted. It is up for download. I will also email it if you need it. But it is a Word document, as it says there, and you can get it. That's all I need for the lesson brainstorming. It doesn't have to be in-depth lesson plans. If you want to do in-depth lesson plans, that's fine. You are welcome. I will even look at them. But that's it. That's the class. So I almost forgot that one. I'm sorry. Shame on me. I think I'm so bright spaced, pumped up. Brain's going a mile a minute. Now, with that being said, that should do it. I'll try to post something once a week just to touch base. Some of them, they won't be this long. This one's, I know, a little bit of a slog. So if you have any questions, email me. And like I say, we'll have a good semester. Thank you all for taking this. And actually for, I guess you're willing participants in a bright space trial. So for that, I thank you. And with that, I'll call it. Talk to you later. Bye.